out of FLVS on my computer because I think we're done with school for today.
Cheers to that.
Somebody posted today, can you die from teaching your kids math? And I was like, I think you can. I actually think you can.
The one comment,
Heart attacks and aneurysms, yes.
she screenshotted it to me because we're both doing that FLVS. And the comment underneath was even better. She goes, well, you can't because I would be really dead.
So anyway, I'm just going to find us here on Facebook. I found us. Okay. Oops. We got anybody on here? I want to say a couple things really quickly. Oh, Joe says, hey, JD. JD, do you know where to find the comments?
On the right side.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you don't have to pay too much attention. I'll let you know if there's something, but if you want to, you can look over there.
Joe, I said hello.
I just want to tell everyone before we start really quickly, just thank you. I think that most of you donated to the food pantry, the little kits that my sister started for GG&R. So if you don't know about it, she was feeling like she wanted to get our kids involved in doing something to help people that needed food in the community. So we know that the Lutheran Church has a program there, and we went and talked to them, and MJ was the one to get that started for GG&R. So we're now accepting donations to make kits to bring to the church twice a month. So we just did it a couple days ago, and we already have 23 orders. MJ already donated 20, so we're gonna have 43 meals for 4 to 6 people that we're gonna bring this Saturday to the church. So and as those donations come in, we will accumulate them for the next time. Or Stephanie, who's in charge over there, said that she could. We're making them all non-perishable, so she can use them anytime. So thank you guys so much for participating with that. Thank you, MJ.
Your community's totally awesome. I mean, they're like, we're on this.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, we're going to make these little chili kits. We're going to give them everything with a little recipe card. So it's kind of fun. You're not just getting a bag of cans and dried rice. And her customers are like,
let's do it
within minutes. So
yeah,
I think you guys are great.
So that's awesome. We're super excited about that. We're going to try to keep that going as long as we can. And then tonight, we're really happy to have JD back. You guys, some of you may know him from back in the day.
The original wine guy.
The original wine guy.
Yes.
Yeah, OG. JD OG.
So anyway, JD he is now with Tuscany Distributors, I believe.
That's correct.
Okay, and he's a lot of fun and entertaining guy. So he's gonna tell us all about his wine picks from this new company. So JD.
All right. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. My name is JD Olander. As I watched a few of these before, a lot of them are old friends. Brandon and Barry, and even Antonio last week. Give you a little bit of knowledge of myself. Been in the wine game on and off for about 20 years, including restaurants. Ran Dijon's for about 8.5 years, if you're familiar with that, down in Mel Beach, and then also helped open up Ember and Oak, if you've ever been there in downtown Melbourne. I've known Kate and Christy for a while. We've had some great wine adventures. One of the great bus tours of the world, going from here to Orlando and back. And as you see, the ladies had a good time as they're cheersing. Great times to be able to have a interactive style of virtual wine tasting right now. So I'm happy that I get to be a part of it, and glad to be able to do it with GG&R. Sorry, I always use initials. As you see, my name is JD. So I'll go straight into the first wine. Do you have a picture, or do you have the bottle shot right up there from the Stingray Bay?
Oh, bottle boy.
Oh, bottle boy. Stingray Bay. So Stingray Bay is a Sauvignon Blanc. Sauvignon Blanc out of Marlborough, New Zealand. This is one that is actually we are the direct importer for, and I absolutely adore this wine. It's a Sauvignon Blanc that is crisp and vibrant, and it's got that just a little bit of touch of playfulness with tropical notes to it. Your traditional New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc is going to have those beautiful grapefruit tones, a little bit of grassiness to it, and I like this because this one's a nice playful style to it. When I say that, I'm talking about it's got a little bit of just kind of whimsicalness to it. It's not sweet, where I know a lot of white wines from Marlborough can get sweet. This one is actually nice and dry and acidic. Great wine for any kind of seafood, citrus, with a little bit of scallops, shrimp, any kind of lobster. Sorry, if you see me look away, I'm dog sitting right now, and the dog is doing its own thing right now, whatever it basically wants to while I'm on air. So, Christy, are you tasting the wine right now? I see you got your nose in. What do you smell it? Do you get that little bit of like almost gooseberry to the wine?
Gooseberry.
Gooseberry.
What the hell
The
is that?
schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
No, I definitely catch the grapefruit. Yeah, on this that's the first thing. But what I would say is it's very smooth. You know, sometimes the Sauvignon Blancs, that you're right, they're a little sweeter.
They're a little sweeter, or they're so over the top grapefruit that it kind of is like almost abrasive on the palate, to where it's almost alarming. I like this one because it does have that beautiful balance of being a nice, beautiful, crisp citrus note to it, and that grapefruit, but that it still has that, wonderful, like little rolling roller coaster kind of feel towards it. I always like that about wines. I think wine, it should be fun. It should be something that is playful. Sorry, I'm trying to learn how to talk and read at the same time over here, which I'm not good at.
Don't worry, I will tell you if you're missing anything.
Yeah.
All right. But Kate, are we doing a?
Well, we got a cheese pairing. Is that weird? Yeah. So the cheese that we paired with this, is the Matika Kana goat cheese. We had that before. Possibly, we might have had it last week, but I love this pairing together. I think it's fabulous, and it's similar to the French Boucheron that we have. Okay. So it's
absolutely. One of the things about it when you're talking about with like goat cheese, because it has that kind of pungent, kind of almost abrupt feel to it. I think the acidity in this wine cuts through it really well. I think that's going to help balance it out because it has that little, Karen McWhorter, peaches on the nose. Yeah, you'll get a little bit of peach on the nose on this as well. That's what this is. A great Sauvignon Blancs can be so diverse. If you get from Sancerre to if you even get into some of the grapefruit, and then almost like green pepper that you get out of South American wines. It's really, really fun. I think that the goat cheese is a good choice here. I like this with goat cheese pasta with maybe some blackened shrimp, a little bit of like roasted red peppers, pine nuts. Fantastic way to go.
So it's really interesting. I mean, I don't see any bubbles in this wine, but it feels like it has a little effervescence, and I think it's because it's so grapefruity or something. Like it's just. Yeah. I don't know what's happening. It actually
has a little bit of natural petulance to it just because of this. This is actually made for us by one of the giant wineries out there, but we actually have a certain parcel that they make it from for us, and their style is really done that way. It has that little playfulness across the palate that's going to keep tingling all the way throughout. I like that. That's one of the things that is great about this wine. Is this wine for a white wine where a lot of times they can be very monotonal from the start to the finish, this wine will evolve as it sits in the glass, which I absolutely love.
Okay, see what Joe wrote. Joe's JD quoting. Wine should be fun. It should be playful.
Well, hey, look, I've been quoted as saying worse than that. I promise, but I mean, I think that's a great idea. I think it should. I mean, wine is. Everyone always tries to get really critical, and one of the things that I started in the wine business when I started to explain to people about wine or translate how I felt about wine or what's in the wine to people is people always thought it had to be something that was upper echelon, and I think wine's grape juice. If you go to wine country, you go to Argentina, you go to Chile, you go to California, Oregon, anything domestic. The winemakers will tell you, look, the wine is made, yes, obviously in the winery, but at the same time, it's made in the fields, and that's where it can be really, really done, and really, really change a lot of things about it. But they said, look, it's grape juice, drink it. It's supposed to be fun. It's a part of life. I think a lot of times that we get bogged down by the fact that it's wine. It's a part of in many other countries, it's a part of everyday meal. Sorry, the dog snuck up on me.
Well, Katie, you're getting a lot of really good comments on it. People seem to really like it. I've been waiting to hear from McClanahan on here. I know she's coloring someone's hair as she's doing her tasting, so she's probably got her hands.
I saw that comment on there, and I was like,
yeah, but I want to hear
coloring somebody's hair or getting your hair colored.
No, she's
See,
coloring.
look, I wasn't lying.
One of my friends is getting her hair done, and the other one's doing the hair, and they're both doing the tasting. So anyway, I'm waiting to hear because she's a Sauvignon Blanc lover. So I wanted to hear, and she likes the New Zealand style. Awesome. This isn't normally my style, but I actually really like this one a lot. I don't know, like I love the grapefruit.
I love this one.
It makes it so much lighter, I think.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, the reason that we like Stingray Bay so much is that it does bridge that gap for people that aren't really white wine drinkers. But it is true to Sauvignon Blanc and New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc that you get the grapefruit. But it just has this playfulness to it. And I'm going to go back to the word because I do love wines to be playful. That is, it's a fun way to be able to enjoy a white wine and not have it be so austere.
We dig it.
Oh, okay. Apparently I'm glowing. I'm getting a text. Yes, Jean.
The light behind you, yeah, I've seen it.
Oh my gosh. Oh, you're glowing?
I like to glow. All right.
Hey, I like Steve's Skidgle. His comment, best damn Sauvignon Blanc I've had today.
Glowing, that's awesome.
So McClanahan and Kathy, the hair girls, getting the hair done. Yeah, they both love it. Okay, good. All right, so let's move on to number 2.
Mike's like, there's a Pinot here. Let's get to it.
There's a Pinot. Let's get to the Pinot Noir. All right, so the Pinot Noir that we're doing is Argus. Now, Argus is fun for multiple different reasons. Great history behind Argus. There's great thought process on where it comes from and everything. Thank you. I appreciate that. And if you see, can you get that just a little bit? Oh, actually, you don't have to get it that much closer, but Argus is actually from Carneros. One of the things that a lot of people don't know about Carneros, people have probably had white wine from Carneros or Pinot Noir from Carneros. Chardonnay and Pinot is what they're really known for. But Carneros is the only AVA or sub-AVA that is in both Sonoma and Napa. So you can have a little bit of expression of both in that, which is why I like Carneros, especially for this Pinot Noir. Argus is made by a gentleman by the name of Chris Dearden. Chris Dearden is a really, really cool winemaker, and hopefully maybe on one of the next ones that we do at this, we'll try his Trainwreck Cabernet. And I'm waiting for a Trainwreck 2020 to come out because it just makes sense. Yeah. But the Pinot Noir here is fantastic. A little bit more about Dearden. Dearden has been making wines out of California for about 20 years now. And if you've ever heard of a winery called Robert Biale, he doubles down on business. What he does is he is actually the general manager of Robert Biale Winery as well. If you've ever heard of his wines like Black Chicken or Royal Punisher or Like Father, Like Son that come out of Viale. They're all Napa Valley, straight Napa Valley aviations. They're really, really beautiful. And this is his little Pinot Noir that he makes out of Carneros. Carneros Pinot Noir atypically has a different style than if you're talking about, straight Russian River or Oregon Pinots. Argus has a balance of acidity. When Kate and I tasted it, she just loved this. We couldn't not do this tasting without it. She was adamant that we had to, because it is.
He bumped one of his wines to in there. I was like,
we're doing this. Peanut.
Yeah, I'm okay with bumping one of the wines, but I was trying to make sure we were doing the right thing. But Argus is definitely has that beautiful, almost light cherry to raspberry on the nose and on the palate. But the acidity is what really, really makes me very happy with Argus, because a lot of times when you get California Pinots can get so juicy that you really don't understand anything else about them except the juice, and then it just falls off. The acidity on this makes it grip onto your palate a lot further than you'd ever expect. Carneros being just an area that gets a great sun exposure and good cooling Pacific winds, that actually gets the perfect kind of growing temperatures for Pinot Noir. One of the things people don't understand about Pinot Noir is it is actually the hardest grape in the world to grow, because that skin is really thin. You have so many things that can affect it. Kind of, what's going on with 2020 right now. As I know a lot of people have seen fires out in California. This is going to be a difficult year to have almost any Pinot out of California. In all honesty, it's a sad fact, but we're going to enjoy this one. Because I love Argus. And for Christmas time, if you have who here does a Christmas ham? I do ham at Christmas. I know a lot of people do rib roast.
We're doing ham for Christmas Eve.
You're doing it for Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of style ham do you do?
Bone in.
Right. Kristen, you're not supposed to put me on the spot.
he puts it in the oven.
I put it in the oven. And
the bone is in it, and I put it in the oven. No.
With a orange
Mike
juice
makes
and
a
brown
glaze.
sugar.
Like a sweet glaze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
She doesn't do
And then
Yeah.
Christy puts it in the oven.
No, Mike
And
does.
so what you're saying, it's a team effort at your house.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it. That's beautiful. Team
Yeah.
effort on cooking is always fun.
A dry Virginia.
Can I tell you guys about the cheese really quick?
Oh yeah.
People are talking about that. So the cheese is the Schellenbell Swiss cheese, and I love the description of it, because it talks about how picturing yourself in Switzerland with the tall grass and the flowers and everything all
And the
over,
goats.
and the cows. It's cow's milk. So and then it talks about how the cows get to eat all this beautiful lush grass and the flowers and everything, and it comes out in the cheese. And anyway, it's cow's milk cheese from Switzerland. But I love the way that they talk about it. I was like, oh, I can picture
I
myself
like the
there.
way you talked about it.
Yeah, right.
My girlfriend just spent 2 years in Switzerland with her husband and her family, her 5 kids. They got transferred there. Every other post was like cows. Like there was the cows like walked through the cows. There was a lot of cows.
So in my next life, if I have to come back as a cow,
Switzerland it is.
Switzerland it is. They get treated better.
They looked happy.
This again is a really interesting pairing. It really brings out the cheese, that the fat in the cheese really brings out I think the butter flavor in the wine.
It's a good pairing.
All right.
I got the Norman sisters. I don't know if they're on here.
man,
Hi, some oldie but goodie friends on here want to drink some wine.
from Anna Maria Island.
Get over here
Represent.
to Cocoa Beach.
The Norman sisters need to get with the Landry sisters and drink wine and cheese.
That's really bad. That has been happening for a long time. And
Oh,
Right.
good.
That's never a bad thing.
well,
Wine and
No.
cheese.
dogs and boats, and it's after midnight.
Oh, just Marianne. Okay, Marianne, we'll take it. All right, yeah. So the Argus is a hit.
Yeah, I like this one.
It's
Jamie.
really nice.
Do you like
I've
it?
had this
Yeah,
a
I
lot
like
because I live in
Oh.
Northern Cal,
It's a little.
close to all this, and I really like the Argus. It's a good
Beautiful.
pick.
See, I think Pinots are one of the things that can be polarizing to people. People either like really sweet Pinots or they like, Burgundian style. They like, the Gevrey-Chambertins of the world. I think Argus gives you a good balance of those because you do get fruit, but it's definitely not candied. It's not, you don't need a shot of insulin afterwards. I find that this has got the right balance of what I'm looking for in a Pinot, and what most people are.
And this one's a little smoky on the back. Mike was saying it's earthy, and I'm like, earthy?
But
he's right. It's got
It
a
is
nice
something
little.
about
It's not thin. Like a lot of Pinot Noirs feel really thin. Like,
A lot of Pinot Noirs only get about 6 months in barrel. He leaves it in there for about 8 here. And the reasoning behind it, he feels that it helps round out that back end of the wine. So it's a good pickup, actually. Great pickup. I think that when you get into Pinots that have the acidity like that, you're going to have something on the back end. Otherwise, it just kind of falls flat.
Yeah, well, see, like Kate usually likes the more earthy, heavier Pinots, and Chrissy like the lighter stuff. And my dilemma,
this is one we could all like.
and my dilemma was, I'm like, I like it, but I also have the same flavor that, like, it's
Oh,
like
the
earthy.
heavier.
It's a little bit heavier, but it's only on the back side. So
Yeah.
it's weird.
So we can both
So
be
we
happy.
we can both be happy.
Cheers, Mike.
Oh,
Hey,
look.
Mike, it's a Pinot for all seasons, okay? It's a
Pinot.
Pinot for all seasons as a Grease reference, okay?
Pinot's not Italian.
Oh, it's not.
Oh gosh.
Is that-
Okay.
What's
Is
the
that-
California?
was that your
I
French
know,
Italian
I need smaller
accident?
pours.
That was
That
was
Go get another glass.
that
Okay.
was a what's a California accent?
They don't really have.
Okay.
That's the Valley Girl. That's
I
not how
I
you
do
talk
really good
anyway.
accents.
That's not how you talk anyway.
Oh, Valley Girl?
Yeah, the Valley. I mean, that's her normal voice.
I was going to say, Chrissy, let's hear your Valley Girl.
No,
That's
it's
it.
not-
That's all I got.
that's just-
What are you talking about? Oh, my God.
Yeah, but she does a really good French Southern Texas and like Italian Southern
Yeah.
Take
Texas.
me to a Texas boy, so it better come through on the Texas.
Yeah, she has a
Right.
Southern draw with
Smile,
all of her
smile.
accents. It's
Ah, okay.
very interesting.
Thanks. But I went back to this Pinot because it's so yummy.
It's so yummy.
I'm
Okay.
going back. I'm going back to the Pinot.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, because I did a little sample of the cab when I was doing the cheese pairing, and
You
You
dirty
sampled
dog.
everything.
You dirty
So good.
dog.
Little
Did you,
Sam.
Little
did you
sample.
cheat?
Yeah.
You cheated and went ahead?
no, I'm trying to make a good pairing for everybody.
Understandable. Understandable.
All right,
Are we moving on to Blackburn now?
Yeah,
Sure.
let's do
All
it.
All right, let's move on to Blackburn. Blackburn is, as you just heard from Kate, this is a cab. Now, we could have done a Sonoma cab, we could have done a Napa cab, but I wanted to kind of illustrate Paso Robles. Paso Robles is up and coming, and they've been making great wines for many, many years. Really, really one of the founders out there is Gary Eberly. Eberly is really known and synonymous for being one of the people that has actually turned the tides and made Paso into quality winemaking instead of just having wines coming out of more Southern California. But Blackbird is one of my favorites because it actually has, to me, it kind of encompasses Paso. Paso, if you've ever been there, anybody been to Paso?
I
All
love
right. So what do you remember about Paso?
it. I like the smell of the ocean. I like how uncrowded it is. Central California coast is awesome. And then like in the middle, like around the Hearst Castle and all that drive, you're like, it's like a mountainous, beautiful region, and it's really
I've been
uncrowded.
there. I just didn't know where we were talking about, but I've been there.
All right, Kate. Well, see, one of my things is, you know what, as you may have heard me say, I'm a Texas boy. So Paso Robles is basically the farmer side of winemaking, where you see a lot of cowboys there.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
They're really, really down to earth people. And when you go to Napa, a lot of times it can get really crowded. And Paso is starting to get more crowded because as more people know about it, more people are going to go to it. But
Sideways, right? Wasn't that shot there?
I'm sorry.
That movie Sideways, didn't everybody start going there?
Yeah.
after
Well, Sideways didn't help that. I don't know if you want to call it did or didn't help the migration of people towards there. But yeah, it definitely did move a lot of people down. Which always, I always have a funny thing about Sideways. He always talked crap about Merlot, but yet the wine at the end of the movie that he loved so much was Merlot driven. Makes no sense. But Paso, Blackburn. Blackburn is the reason I brought up the kind of the cowboy aspect of it. Is this actually Paso Robles is always known for having wild hogs always around, and they always have had that synonymous thing of being like that farmer's thing, and it Paso kind of strikes home with me because it is just one of those things that kind of reminds me of home. My grandfather was a rancher and in South Central Texas, and so it always reminded me of that. But this wine has got a little bit of almost pork fat on the nose and on the palate. When you drink Blackburn, you get it kind of ripples across the front middle of your tongue. It has that beautiful kind of juiciness that you come to expect out of Paso wines. And then the backbone of it has got this just wonderful, smooth, silky finish. But it's just that I'm a pork fat person. I need that shirt that says bacon across it because I am that guy.
Pepper.
Huh?
Pepper.
Pepper? You get white or black?
Black.
Black pepper, absolutely. Black pepper all the way across here.
That's the wrong answer, but that's what I taste. It's not like
I'm pretty sure there's no wrong answers.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, like, it just feels.
See, that's what I'm talking about. There really is you're right, Mike. There really is no wrong answer because everybody tastes something different. Everyone always tells me, "What do I taste?" I have no idea what you taste. I can tell you what I taste.
Peppercorns, like peppercorns that you crush up.
Yeah, fresh cracked pepper.
Different color. That's what I taste.
Like the tricolors?
No. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean that makes perfect sense to me. I mean,
really black pepper feel, but like a mellow, nice color.
Yeah, I agree.
It's very subtle on the back end, and that's why we wanted to do something that was going to be a fun, and you got to have a cab, especially if it's going to be my first tasting. And we wanted to have something. I had to have something that had a little bit of pork fat to it. I know Kate and Christy know I like Spanish wines a lot too. But I always like the ones that have that little bit of something different to them, not the straightforward, all around same type of wines that everyone else does. I want to have something that kind of sets itself apart. What did we pair this one with? I'm interested to see what you paired this with.
I like how Mike Taylor said that this would be good breakfast wine.
This would be good breakfast wine.
Yeah. So we paired it with the Vermont Creamery.
It's really good.
No, not Vermont Creamery. Vermont Farmstead Ale House Cheddar. Getting the two mixed up. It's Vermont Farmstead Ale House Cheddar.
Okay.
So the Ale House Cheddar, I have to look this up, is made with two of the beers from Harpoon, the brewery Harpoon. They use the Munich Dark and the IPA to soak the curds during the cheese making process. So it is. This is. I mean, you can taste a little bit of the ale in it if you have it by itself. I don't know if you can taste it,
especially if you're like a 12-year-old girl.
Yeah, Nora doesn't like it.
She's like, it tastes like beer.
Yeah, but it's magic in the mouth. Like,
yeah, it's delicious. I love this.
It's so good.
Good.
Yeah, it is good. Yeah,
it's a really good pairing. What are your clients saying?
Love the cheese. Sydney says I built my first black powder rifle there.
El Paso, yeah, I saw that.
Times. So we do have some California people on here, so they're chiming in here and there. Sydney moved here from California. I think her friend is visiting from California, so awesome. they're all reminiscing about all the areas you're talking about. So, Steve wants to know if this is 100% cab.
It isn't, and you're not going to find that most wines that are done that say Cabernet aren't going to be cab. I don't know if anybody ever took organic chemistry, but just like the outer valence shells, they try to. Every grape has a natural flaw to it, and they try to fill them out to basically round out the wine. This has got I believe 3% Zinfandel and 7% Merlot. So it is a 90% cab.
Okay.
Really to be called Paso Robles, it really only has to have 80. 75 to be called cab in California, 80 to be a regular designation, and then if you go to sub AVAs, you go to 90% is what it needs to be.
I'm really surprised at how smooth it is.
Did you just pour another little?
I saw it too, and that makes me happy. Mike likes wine.
Man that will not drink cab.
So I don't like cab. The cab's really heavy.
I love it.
Cab's
You do
typically
now.
really heavy. So I want to try another one because I'm wondering if it's
You're
just
confused?
Leftover from the good Pinot.
you did a heavy pour on the first two, so I checking it out.
Hey,
But,
Mike, hey, look, you got to represent for us there. Don't let him push you around. Get your second glass.
Don't let him push you around. You've met him, right?
it's so much smoother than most cabs. I
It doesn't feel as big as a lot.
And that's what you're going to get at Paso. So I'm going to talk about cab for a second in your California style. And this is an atypical and this is a broad statement. But Paso is kind of always known for that juicy cab that actually has like a little bit of playfulness to it. Sonoma is going to be a little bit softer, or people will always say a little bit more effeminate style cab. And then Napa is going to have that kind of broad shoulders. Like I'm going to come in and I'm going to go through the store and walk in and be demanding. I mean, it's grippy. So stylistic wise, I mean, you have three real, I mean, I know there's a lot more different designations in California, but those are the three real style cabs that you actually get out of California that people are really used to right now. I think Paso has that approachability to it that I love.
So this is the feminine one? Is that what
No,
you're saying?
that's-
No, I didn't say that. Sonoma is a feminine. This is the juicy, easy drinking.
Oh yeah. Right.
Okay.
Napa is
Yeah.
Juicy,
Napa's
easy
the
drinking.
big man at the
Yeah.
party, like big man on campus cap.
Hey, you know what? I like the shoulder shrug there. That was good. I like that. You know, the big.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean Napa. That's what Napa's for. It's more grippy. It's more of that style of super tannic. It's
what
got a completely different style than different areas, and that's why I every time I do like a blind tasting, it's always fun because it's a completely different approach to the way that you look at the wines. The temperature that they get, the sun exposure, which side of the mountain, mountains in California, but still.
Yeah.
Are you
totally.
pouring that Zane now?
JD, I just want to tell you I had a shout out from Radcliffe.
I saw OG. He said OG JD in the house. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to say hi to JP very soon.
Oh yeah, Radcliffe is my cheese guy. So he's probably not still on anymore, but he likes to pop in for a second. And that's fine with me because he doesn't need to listen to me talk about cheese, that's for sure. But no, he's the one responsible for all the cool cheeses that we get. And the other stuff. He provides us with all the chutneys.
I don't think they can see the charcuterie.
Oh yeah, we have a charcuterie here. Some of you got the charcuterie platters.
We kind of ate half of it already, so it's
We kind of ate it. Yeah.
really-
It's not as pretty as when they first put it down, but it's delicious.
Anyway,
Tastes the
he
same.
does the specialty food for our area from Jacksonville to I don't know, like Melbourne, I guess, or something like that. But anyway, he supplies great restaurants and.
He says he's still on, so he just says I'm here.
All
That's
right,
okay, next
well,
time. Oh, hey.
tell us, Radcliffe. Type
Tell us
something.
more about it, Radcliffe, because I know you're not fishing right now, evidently.
Yeah, I went to high school with this guy. He's a cool dude, and he's the one that introduced me to JD. So Radcliffe is actually the one
Hi,
that
Radcliffe.
got this all going.
Yep.
You. Cheers
It's like the
to
12 degrees of separation of Kevin Bacon.
you.
We're on number
Cheers.
4, Kate.
Oh, we're on number 4.
Well, you're not.
Okay.
The rest of the
Oh no, I'm on back to the Pinot.
I give up with you, MJ. I'm just-
You're not. The
You got
first.
like
Radcliffe says JD and MJ, double trouble.
over there.
Initials were good. He would know.
That was I will have to say I'm surprised. That was a really good cab. Like
Yeah, me too. It
I'm
was.
really surprised.
Wow.
Everyone loves the cab. I'm
Yeah.
getting it all around.
That was a
don't-
really good.
I don't believe it was a cab.
JD's lying.
JD's lying.
Come out to California.
It's not a cab. It's not a cab. I changed the label just for you guys. All right, we're gonna move on to the next one. By the way, Ratcliffe says he's cooking, so he can't get on. I think that's an excuse because we know he doesn't cook anymore.
Come make a guest appearance.
I'd have to be there for that one. Be at GG&R for that one.
Yeah.
So you might have seen that I have my own glass of wine here, and you might be asking, what am I drinking? Am I drinking one of the wines that we're tasting? I am. I'm drinking the one that we're tasting now. Where are they? Okay, how do I do that? There you go. This is called Biscani Carlo. This is a repasso. So this is from Valpolicella. This is what you would consider a Classico Superior. So there's 3 grapes in this. There's Corradina, Grandidella, and Malanara. So what they do with a Repasso is they're actually taking Amarone. If you're not familiar with Amarone grapes, those are the 3 grapes that are in it. They take them, they dry them on a mat for 6 weeks, basically getting rid of about 30 to 40% of the composition of the grape. So you're losing about 30 to 40% of your yield. So to recompass that, they take fresh juice and run them over the skins after they've already made Amarone. They keep those grape skins and the pumice there, and they repass. So you hear the name Repasso, and a method called a passamone method over the grapes, and they repass it over the top of them to help bring out a little bit of that Amarone flavor. Amarones run retail environment anywhere from probably $50 to $150.
Raisins, and then they dry them until they're like raisins, and then they put them more.
Well, Amarone literally translates into Italian and raisin wine. That's basically, they don't make them completely raisins. They're getting rid of about 30 to 40% of, like I said, of their water or their composition, their yield. And that's why they started to repass fresh juice over it to try to encompass and get some of that back and get some of that hints of the flavor of Amarone. Amarone, they were always like, look, we spend so much time and effort with doing this. It feels like we should be able to do something else. And, there's many different stories of how I came to. And the one that I, speaking to a lot of Italian winemakers that I tend to like is that one guy was like, look, I got to get something more out of this. I'm losing 6 weeks drying them. I'm losing all this yield. I want to see if I can get something better out of my normal wine that I'm not doing this to. So he did, and the Repasso was born. The Biscani Carlo is one of the wines that we literally bring from all the way from the vineyard. We take it all the way to port in Italy, then we bring it all the way over on containers, and we distribute it throughout the United States. One of my favorite wines. Zane is actually, if you look at the bottom of the bottle, do you see down there? There you go. I'm gonna figure this camera thing out by the end of this. I promise.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
At the end of it has to do. Zane is actually a good old family name, and Biscani Carlo is where they really make these beautiful, rich wines. I don't know if anybody is used to having an Amarone. I love Amarone, but I hate raisins. They usually ruin everything. Okay, I like Liz's comment there. Sorry. But Repasso to me has this completely different. It doesn't have raisin flavor to me, but it actually brings this beautiful richness, and it's got this little bit of decadence and almost like regality to it. Because Corradina has got lots of cherry by itself.
What thing I told you?
What?
I just said like I taste a lot of cherry, like really strong cherry.
You do. But I think that this cherry is almost like a little bit of like black cherry. You know what I mean? It's got a little bit of the red, but black cherry because it pulls in a little bit of that darkness of the dried fruit and the raisin. I don't think people always think that this is supposed to taste like raisins. If it tastes like raisins, they didn't do it right. Because it's not supposed to be that syrupy. It's supposed to be fresh juice over this pomace to be able to give it a little bit more character. And give you a wine that has some multi levels of flavor.
Yeah, I was just saying this is the wine by itself is a little overpowering, but when pair it with the cheese that she had,
Oh,
that completely settles it down.
okay. Well, let's talk
And
about
it's-
that. People are.
You're
One person said it was. Trish says it's too sweet for her, but her hubby likes it, and she said cheese is nice pairing. People freak out about this cheese.
This
like
cheese.
It's good. Yeah.
Radcliffe, I don't know if you're still on here, but this is by far the favorite cheese ever in the shop. Like,
Let's not get crazy.
No, it is.
no, I'm not saying your favorite, Mike, but yeah, like people love this cheese. So anyway, it is the Van Koss Mediterranean Gouda. And it has olives, garlic, tomato, herbs. And you know, when I got that cheese from Radcliffe, because he suggested it a while back, I was like, oh gosh, there's a lot going on there. Like
Yeah.
I thought I didn't think people were gonna react the way they did, and people
It's so different.
people love it.
It's
Like it's
so
super
good.
subtle.
Really
like
good.
it's like a nice
really good.
balance of all those things in there.
Is this
It's
a
not
melt?
overwhelming.
Is this a
What?
melty cheese? Will this melt?
Is
It's
this
Gouda, so it will.
It'll melt.
Yeah.
This on a burger would be amazing.
Oh
With some
yeah,
jalapenos.
yeah, yeah.
Toasted bun.
I think
Yeah.
Mike's getting hungry.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right,
No,
so which one are you gonna put with it?
I got homemade calzones baking.
He's gonna do them all in
He's
order.
gonna do all the
I'll
wines
just do
with
all
his
of them.
burger. His
I like
Gouda burger. No, this is.
It's
I
good. My first sip of this was I was like, yeah, I don't know, but I'm telling you, with
Well,
that,
that's the trick with this. We're going definitely up in weight here. This is going to have a lot more viscosity to it. I always talk to people about when we talk about wines, we talk about light, medium, and heavy. Refer to them like you do milk. Skim milk, 1%, whole milk, light, medium, heavy. This is definitely kind of that 2%, that little bit in between. It is not quite all the way to heavy and super viscous, but it definitely has a little bit more weight than that Paso Cab does. That Paso Cab, I think, is definitely a 1%er. It's medium bodied, but it's juicy and it's got a great feel to it.
Lightest cab I've ever had. I
it
think.
is, yeah, because cabs, I would say, usually are the whole milk is cab.
Again, depending on their designation and stylistically wise, but yeah, absolutely. You know, you have some of them that they're almost like syrup nowadays. And I don't like wines that have too much sweetness to it. I do love the Ripasso here. I know that I saw what somebody said is too sweet, but I want something that's got some of that beautiful fruit to it as well.
I missed it, JD. Did you say where the Valpolicella, where that's from?
It's from Veneto.
Italy, but where are we on
Veneto, the Northeast
Northeast? Okay.
Northeast Veneto.
So is that near the ocean or not?
No, this isn't real close to the ocean where this is. Veneto has it's not so far from it, but it is. I mean, nowhere in Italy is extremely far from the ocean. In all honesty,
Super yummy.
I'm sorry.
It's super yummy.
That's good.
Oh, beautiful. I'm glad you liked it.
I would not
Liked it.
go for this one. I don't think, but it's I'm really liking it as it opens up, and I liked it with the cheese pairing.
Yeah.
And I don't
Definitely
think
with
it's
the
sweet
cheese,
at all.
yeah.
To me, it's
I'm
not.
sad that I don't have the same cheese pairings. I have a little bit of a different cheese pairing over here that I'm doing. So, but they are JPs. Just if you're watching, Mr.
I
Actor.
think even with Parmigiano, like really yummy Parmigiano. This is
Absolutely. Even like Pecorino Romano with this is fantastic. Something with a little bit of a sharp bite. This is really going to bring out, the same flavors.
Yeah.
Yummy.
As
Yummy.
the first glass of the night, it might be a little heavy for me, but as the fourth glass of the night, it's
I agree. I would not jump straight into this wine as the first wine of the night. No, I agree with you, Mike. I mean, I'm 100% with you. All right. So
What we got next?
this last one is what I call basically my little cat in the hat. This is one of our number one selling wines. And it took a little convincing, but this is a wine that is called Sangue da Giuda. Sangue da Giuda literally translates into the blood of Judas. This is an Italian wine. This is a slightly sweet red, has a little bit of petulance to it. There you go. a lot of people always ask me about this label. What does Sangue da Juda mean? Where is it from? You know, who this is. This is K Montebello. This is one of my friends, Alberto, is the winemaker here. They make some gorgeous, gorgeous wines out of Lombardy, and it is absolutely fantastic. This is one of our, actually, this is our #1 selling SKU across the state. It's funny because it is a sweet red. And I know I just made everyone's ears cringe a little bit, but this is one of the fun wines. This is the pizza pasta burger wine. Okay, the reason I say that is if you have charcuterie, like you guys have in front of you, salty meats, salty cheeses, anything with a little bit of a grip, this is going to have a little bit of a playfulness to it. I'm watching you, Chrissy. I saw you just taste it.
No, it's really it reminds me kind of the Lambrusco.
Yeah.
It changes so dramatically.
It does. It'll change in the glass.
And also, it changes a lot with the cheese pairing too. So,
absolutely.
I did question JD on this one. I gotta say, I was like, a little sweet wine. I don't know, but I really like it, and I love it with the cheese. I think it's really
Sydney there just posted something that says, "I'm loving it with some chocolate fondue."
Oh,
perfect.
Sydney, that's great. But you know what, JD, this reminded me of my mom's best friend growing up was from the south of France.
Uh-huh.
And we went there a few times to visit her family, and she always had a wine like this. Always. I mean, it took me back to
that was
Provence.
The first thing you said when we tasted it.
Yeah, I tasted it. I'm like, oh my God, I'm in Provence with Andre, and like going to the butcher and the baker.
That and the
and the candles.
Yeah. So anyway, I liked that. It took me back there, but
absolutely. And this is the kind of wine. I mean, and to me, this is not this is not cloyingly sweet. You do get it's a juicier side. It's a little bit sweet, but it is not overdone. It is not Moscato sweet. It is not anything towards that fact. This is one of those wines where you're sitting around with friends, and it's a Sunday about let's go noonish. And you're having a little bit of red wine. Yeah, you saw what I did there. A little bit of about noonish, and you're trying to have a nice glass of wine, and you don't want to get into something too heavy. If you're not a white drinker, this is exactly. I like that comment, Karen. It's sweet but not syrupy. Like I agree completely. But I love the cheese. I'll try it with chocolate. Perfect. Joe is going to try it with something a little bit different, but that's what I like about this wine. This wine is one of those wines for a little bit of everybody. If you have somebody that wants to come over and they're entry level towards wine, it's a great way to be able to introduce them to wine. But yet anybody that actually drinks wine all the time, you can appreciate this wine. Put some salty meats and cheeses out like you have, charcuterie. It's a perfect pairing for me. I mean, I'm not a sweet wine drinker at all, and we do this all the time at my house. I have multiple friends that I get text. People always text me pictures of wines. Can you get this? Can you get this? Can you get this? Before I came to work for this company about 4 or 5 months ago, this was the wine that was always sent to me. Can you get this? Can you get this? Can you get this? This is the #1 wine that we sell. Has anybody been to the wine room in Orlando?
I mean, I have heard about that over and over and over again, but and we've talked about going, and now I guess.
But you know how many bridges we have to go over to like get there? You know, it's in Orlando.
We should have gone on the bus. I agree.
That's too far.
But the thing about it is
GG&R,
the #1 selling wine in all of Orlando at the wine room, where they have 275 different wines on tap. They go through about 15 to 20 cases of this a month because it's the #1 seller. It has that little bit of something when you're drinking it. You at first it may be a little abrupt to you because you're not used to having that, but when you taste it, you're like, oh wow, that's just amazing. That is, because it'll start to build on you.
When it's a zillion degrees out, you know, this is the wine, the red wine that's not so heavy that you could probably just sit there and sip on, you know?
Yes, and of course we had that beautiful cold snap that is coming through right now, cooling us down a little bit. That's why I have my my sweater on. It's a little cold.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you completely. I mean, I don't drink a ton of white wines. And when I do, it's atypically with food. I'm more of a red wine drinker personally, but I think that this is definitely one of those wines that is definitely approachable for a Florida climate.
Yeah, light, very light.
And yet the one in Winter Park, to answer her question. Rebecca's.
Oh, yeah, Rebecca. So I
try to be good about watching the screen and going next door and making sure that I see the questions, and if there's a question that I can answer. That's why I saw Ratcliffe coming in.
Perfect. Yeah, no, it's all good. But I think that this wine would be really nice for like a happy hour party where you do have like a really nice charcuterie platter, and I mean it's light enough to have like a little bit earlier before dinner, and I think it goes really well with all the meats and cheeses and stuff. And I think that is kind of the way that Andre would serve it in France.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like you don't have to have food with this wine, that's what I do, because everyone knows there are certain wines you need food with, but this is one of those wines that could hold up to it, but it's not necessary.
The cheese is it's La Bonne Vie, and it is a cheese spread that we've had La Bonne Vie, Brie, and something else from them. I can't remember, but this is the cheese spread. It's kind of like a boursin or something like that. It's garlic and herbs, and but it's like a little bit more creamy and light, I feel like.
He liked it.
Oh,
Mike
licked the plate.
We need to get
Mike just leaned over. He goes, "You're gonna need to get some of this at the house."
Attaboy.
That's good.
Kind of an interesting pairing,
I thought that was the kind of thing that actually for me, I tasted the wine, I didn't like it. I had the wafer with the garlic and herbs, and I'm like, now I like it.
Yeah.
It like complemented each other.
It's for me, the wine was really sweet, but the salt, when you handed me the wafer with the
cheese and the salami,
that kind of took away from it.
If that works perfectly for me. For me, this is definitely a wine that needs food. Sorry.
I agree.
No, that's fine. That's what I say. To everybody has a different thought process on each wine, and when you taste it, that's why they make so many different types. Otherwise, they just be like, "Here's one red, here's one white," and that's the fun part about it. Is that's one of the great parts about my job is like going in and I see people from all different areas and all different backgrounds and all different nations of origin, and tasting wines with them, and they're just like, okay, I love this, and the next person goes, I hate this wine.
Yeah,
the same exact wine. And then the next person goes, I love this wine. It's fun. But I mean, it's interesting sometimes, but it's fun.
Speaking of loving wine, this is the point where we usually like ask what people's favorites are of the night.
Okay.
So are people chiming in?
I'm getting a little, well, wait, I don't know. I think, was it Steve? Did you tell me that number 4 was your favorite? But that was before you tried number 5. I don't know. I'm trying to see.
I have to say, I loved the white. I think this is definitely something I will have in my fridge. Mike loved the Pinot.
I like the white too.
Oh, you did?
No, I did. Yeah, it was like I love grapefruit.
You're welcome, Christy.
Thank you. That's awesome. And
2 and 3, so Pinot and Cab.
I would say 1 through 4 are amazing, and number 5 is so different that like I will definitely have that. I think my mom is really gonna like that when she gets here.
Yeah.
Like she would.
Oh yeah, because she liked the Lambrusco.
She liked their Lambrusco.
Yeah.
So yeah,
my favorites were the Pinot and the Cab.
The Pinot.
Number 2,
Argus.
and,
Yeah.
and number
Yeah.
3. So okay,
The Pinot over the Cab. So I was trying to figure out which one I like better. So I just poured myself a glass of each.
Hey,
So I'm-
research and development is necessary.
yeah.
but I think-
what?
I think
That's,
the
you poured
Pinot-
more Cab.
Yeah, I want to see if I like that or the Pinot better.
You
But,
wanna-
I mean, it was good, but no, when I taste it right next to the Pinot's a little lighter. So I do like the Pinot better. So I have to.
I'm with the
for-
Pinot right now, and I'm gonna revisit the Cab because I think
Oh
the
my-
Cab's a little
So
peppery.
yeah,
Gosh,
it is. Yeah,
We're
so
gonna be here for a
I'm
while.
a 2, 1, 3.
We're
4,
gonna
5.
revisit here.
I think I'm a 2, 1, 3, 4, 5.
Oh my God! Wait, 2, 1, 3, 4, 5.
Oh,
1 and 2.
Wow. Okay, Trish Barker says number 2 and number 3.
That's
Okay.
me. That's me.
That's what you said.
Mhm.
Yes. And Becky says shout out to the pecans from Alex's parents' farm. I roasted them, and those were on the charcuterie platters. Robin says 1, 2, and 3. Karen loves 1 and 2. And Karen, I don't think do you normally like Sauvignon Blanc? I don't think you normally do. So that's interesting. I might be wrong. McClanahan says, where'd she go?
Number 1. for
All
sure.
the wines. Number 5 was a surprise. I think she means a nice surprise, but I'm not sure what kind of surprise she means. Joe says 1 and 3.
She
One-
did not like the 5th one.
Oh,
oh, she doesn't like 5.
Fifth
That's okay.
is off the list.
I like the Cab over the
5 was
Pinot.
really different. So I think you
Yeah,
either
well,
good or hate it, you know.
no.
Okay. Skidell Light Body Falstrom. Number 5. Number 2. Number 3. Number 1. Number 4.
Number 4, no bueno.
Wait. Oh, number 4. No bueno. Oh, okay.
They didn't like the Ripasso.
Okay. Wow, Steve, could you make that more complicated for me?
I was like, is there coding in this?
Like,
I'm
what
just
am
trying
I
to figure out.
understanding here? All right.
And then Becky liked number 1.
Jerry's from California. He liked 1, 2, and 3. Oh wait. Oh no, is that Harlan? I'm thinking of Harlan. Okay, I don't know. I'm confusing them. Mike Taylor, who has a fancy, nice. Well, maybe I shouldn't say. Anyway,
Nice
he is a
woman.
connoisseur. He likes 1 and 3 the best. Okay.
I'm gonna have to retry the 2 and 3. I just, got to get my picks right.
Yeah.
You got to make sure that you have your taste down to make sure exactly how many you're gonna let Mike.
That's so interesting to me. I really, really love this part of it where I can get like you guys. It's interesting when you're talking about it, but I like to hear really what different people like the best, and I kind of get to know each and every one of you on a different level, on your wine level, and it's interesting to hear from people that aren't like totally regulars on here, but pop in every now and then. So that really helps me build, a better wine collection here. And I appreciate you guys like giving your honest feedback and all that. So it's good. I like it. Thank you. And I'm just back to the comments.
Yeah, I know. I've seen there's a couple people that. Okay. Steve is saying that we tasted the 4 and 5 in reverse order than what was on the tasting sheet. So he liked the Ripasso. He did not like the Sangue de Juda.
Oh, they tasted them
In reverse.
in reverse.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I don't know if that's affecting our number scale over here on the right.
No, we didn't. This is the tasting sheet. This has.
Yeah, but he might have
He
got
might
it
have
mixed
screwed
it
it
up.
He
No,
might.
you have it on the list.
Are you sure it was?
Yeah, I mean, I only printed one tasting sheet.
Yeah, I don't think that she just changed it for one.
I did. Dean and Steve and Mary.
Yeah,
Just for you.
I wouldn't do it. The Christmas trick. No. Anyway, I don't know what happened. It's usually me when there's a
we
mistake.
are getting a couple people that like the fifth one, the second one. I mean, I knew it was a long shot because, I mean, when you talk about sweet wines with people, but I promise you, there's a lot of people out there that love sweet wine. I put it this way. We got in 10 pallets of this on a Tuesday. By Wednesday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, all of it was gone. So you're talking 780 cases gone within about 24 hours. There's a lot of people out there to buy it.
That's why I allowed JD to bring it tonight. I was like, all right.
I'm smarter than I look, thank God.
No, it's good. I like it.
I definitely.
This definitely doesn't taste like a cab to me. It's so peppery.
Oh, you're back to the couch.
Oh,
Yes.
she's back to the cab.
Like I'm
MJ's
trying.
like, it's so peppery. I'm like, what wine is she drinking?
I'm back to San Luis Obispo.
So you guys, I want to say one more thing before you go. I mean, I know we're wrapping it up here. We were not going to do any more tastings for this year because we have
A whole year, Kate?
I mean, for the rest of 2020, because we have Christmas Eve and then we have New Year's Eve on the next 2 Thursdays. But we were walking the other day and we were like, wait a minute, New Year's Eve, what are we doing? We're going to sit around and drink wine. Why don't we do it with other people? I mean, I don't know what you guys are doing.
Good point, MJ.
Yeah, we're doing a New Year's Eve edition, and we might possibly make it just a tad bit earlier, or I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Anyway,
So,
well,
whatever anybody wants. I'll drink all day on New Year's Eve and go to bed by 10. I don't care. I can
Yeah, we
watch
don't
the
need to
Velvet
stay up.
thing
We
come down.
appreciate your sacrifice, MJ.
well, anyway, so I just wanted you guys to know we had said we weren't doing anymore, but we lied. All right, we're doing it now.
December 31st. Join us
from
or
Anna Maria
don't.
Island.
Yeah.
Also, I have a special little trick up my sleeve for December 31st, so be checking your email. I haven't even told Kate that we can do this, but we're doing it.
Oh gosh.
What? I didn't even hear what she said. I'm trying to.
It's
catch
all
up.
good.
Okay, whatever Christy says, I'm good. I trust her. It's fine.
Oh gosh.
JD, thank you so much.
Nice to meet you,
Thank you
Julie.
for having me, guys. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys like the wines. Mike,
I did.
I appreciate you stepping up and helping to find out a new cab that you're gonna like actually too as well.
Yeah.
Make the boss happy.
Yeah, it was really good. This was excellent.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
So everybody have a great night. Cheers. Thank you for coming. Thanks for
Hello.
all your donations for the food pantry.
Yes,
And
thank you guys so
Oh,
much.
Merry Christmas.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
cheers.
We
JD.
love you guys.
Cheers,
We'll
JD.
see you
Thanks,
on
buddy.
New Year's
Absolutely.
Eve.
Thank you.
New Year's Eve.